Date's August 8th, 2007. Time is 7:41 p.m. Sergeant Michael Rayleigh of the Holmes County Sheriff's Office. Also present is Major Harry Hamilton and Miss Amanda Lewis. We'll be here at Bay Medical Center in Panama City, Florida. Amanda, if you could, give me your full name and date of birth for the tape.
Amanda Elaine Lewis, birthday September 7th, 1979.
Okay. Amanda being I'm a deputy sheriff in the state of Florida. I got the ability to swear under oath if you would raise your right hand. Swear statement about it gives truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about what all happened today? Can you take us through that?
Yes. Well, I got home from work. I work 11 to 7. They were watching cartoons. I told them if they'd let me take a little nap that we'd get up and get ready and go do their school shopping. They were good. I took my nap. I got up probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere around in there. They wanted to go outside, so I let them go out. They were out there playing. They, come in and out. Around close to the incident, they had went outside. They were playing in the front yard, in the driveway with some of AJ's trucks. And I went out and checked on them, and I told them I was supposed to take a shower. And then they could come in, we'd get them bathed, and then we'd go do their school shopping. And I went and took my shower, put some towels in the washing machine and some in the dryer. And then I walked to the front door, and I couldn't see Andrew, and he was in the trees beside the house, climbing in them. And I asked him where Adrianna was at, and he said she was playing at the pool. I said, well, go tell her to come in so we can get ready to go, and we'll go get your school stuff. And then we were going to go to my stepmom's. And he went to go around the house, and I went to the sliding glass door at the back and looked out, and I didn't see her. And when I looked at him, he was on the wagon, reaching over in the pool, raking at something. And I asked him what was he doing, and he said that Adrianna was upside down in the pool, and she wasn't moving. And that's when I run out there, and I made him go get Al Michael. And then when he came out, I told him, I said, take AJ in the house and keep him in there. And I was trying to get her out because she was close to the middle of the pool. And then I leaned over and reached over, and I managed to get her foot, and I pulled her out and got her on the ground. And I tried to do CPR as I was calling 911. And then that's when she dispatched the fire department. They got there, and they took over. And then after that, that's when everybody, started getting there.
Okay. So what time did you get in today? You said you got off work this morning?
In from work?
Yeah.
It was a little after 8 because we had a meeting this morning. We have one every payday, an in-service. So I got there right at 8, a little after 8 o'clock.
Okay. And you went to bed then?
I probably didn't lay down until about 9:30 when I laid down.
And what time did you say you got up?
It was around 12:30 or 1 o'clock when I got up.
Okay. What were they doing when you got up again?
They were watching cartoons.
Did they eat lunch or anything, or breakfast or any of that, or?
Well, when I got home this morning, Adrianna said that she had thrown up, and there was some in her bed. There was a little throw up in her bed, and she had threw up one more time. And I asked her, was her stomach hurting? Last night we had some chili cheese hamburger helper, and I didn't know if maybe that made her sick. And she said she wasn't feeling good, but she didn't want anything to eat. But if they got anything when I was asleep, I don't know.
They didn't eat any lunch then that you know of?
No, because we were going to stop and get something.
Okay. Did you say, now, earlier when we were up there, I thought you had told me that they said they wanted to get in the pool?
Yeah, first thing this morning they wanted to get in the pool and go swimming. Mm-hmm. And I told them to let me take my nap, and then we'd talk about it. And I asked them, I said, well, do you want to swim in the pool, or do you want to go get your school stuff? And then they wanted to go get their school stuff. But then when I asked him what she was doing, he said she was cleaning the bugs out of the pool so we could go swimming. But Adrianna, she had ADHD and she was on Folkland. And one minute she could want to go get her school stuff, and then next she would want to get in the pool. She would go back and forth in what she wanted to do.
Okay. You said, I guess, is it AJ had said that she was cleaning the bugs out of the pool?
She was trying to get the bugs out of the pool so we could swim.
Okay. That was after you got out of the shower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it when you were, did you say you were doing some laundry or something like that?
I took the towels out of our bathroom and put them in the washing machine. And then put the ones from the washing machine in the dryer. And then that's when I went out and asked him.
Okay. About how long do you say all that time period was?
Usually it takes me maybe 10 minutes to take a shower. And then I got dressed, so that's probably another 5 minutes. And then getting the towels up, taking them to the laundry room, switching everything over, probably maybe an hour at the most before I went out and asked him where she was at to get them to come inside.
How long did you say that was? You folding the clothes and all that?
Well, I didn't fold any. I put them
in the laundry?
Yeah, everything from when I got out of the shower to when I went out the door had to be no more than an hour, if even that long.
Okay. Was when AJ told you she was picking the bugs out, was that right after you got out of the shower, or?
It was after I got out of the shower, got dressed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, was it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes? That's what I was getting at.
No, because I had gotten out of the shower, got dressed, got the laundry up, switched everything over from the washer to dryer, and then that's when I went to the front door.
Okay. So what, maybe 10 minutes maybe?
Well, all of that took about an hour, so I'm figuring that long.
When you went out and found Adrianna, how was she in the water?
She was face down in the water.
Was she on top of the water or below the water? Or?
She was on top of the water. Because I had leaned over the pool and managed to get her toe and rake her close enough to where I could pull her out.
Could she stand up in that pool?
Mm-hmm. Both of them could stand up. On her, the water come up to maybe about right here, and she would walk around the edge. I mean, she was afraid of water. She was afraid of going under the water.
Was she scared of getting in the pool, though? I mean,
she'd get in the pool, but she'd stay right around the edge of it. Okay. Or either she put AJ's little floaties on, and then she would walk out when we were out there.
Could she swim or dog paddle?
Not good
like
enough.
That?
I mean, she could paddle to keep herself afloat, but she couldn't swim that good. I mean, we were trying to show her how, but she's always been afraid of the water. She won't lay down in the bathtub.
Do you know how she got in the water? I mean, do you know?
No, the only thing I can think of was she was standing on the wagon, reaching over.
Is that y'all's? Is that their wagon?
Yeah, that's their wagon.
Does it usually stay right there, or where's it usually at?
When I come in, and even when I had went outside and come back in, when they were playing, the wagon was over where they had cut down those trees where the hammock was at, and it's been over there for.
Is that on y'all's property, or?
Mm-hmm. And it had been there for a couple of days.
The woods are cleared out, or?
Yeah, it was just right there on the other side of where the hammock was at. Was where the wagon.
Is that by the shed, or is that by your shed?
The pool was right here, and right by the road. They've cleared it out, but there's an old hammock there.
Oh, okay.
And the wagon was over there.
Close to the dirt road.
Because AJ put dirt in it.
Okay. What about the old beer bottles in there? That's broke. You know anything about that?
AJ brought them out of the woods. He'd go across the street where that little dirt hill and bring all kind of stuff out of the woods.
Okay.
But neither one of us drink, so it's not ours.
Yeah, it looked pretty old.
Yeah. And people throw them outside the road right there at our house.
Had Adrianna ever got in the pool before without permission?
I make them stay away from the pool. Most of the time we keep it covered, but we've gotten in it quite a few times in the past week or so, so we didn't put the cover on it.
How long have y'all had that pool?
We just bought it maybe a couple months. We hadn't had it long.
How was, how she was keeping the bugs out? Did she have a net, or did she just...
I don't know. The only thing I could think was she had that white tub was in the pool, and that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. You said she had some behavioral problems.
Mm-hmm.
Had she had any recently?
Since he changed her medicine and put her on Focalin, she's been doing, a lot better. Before, she wouldn't listen to anything, and she was getting in trouble at school. They were having to call me almost every day. And then I sent her to.
Don't mean to intrude, but your mom is here. I just thought you should know, so if you need anything, she's in with the baby. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
How long has she been on this new medication, or how long is it since they changed it?
He changed her to Focalin last month.
So since she got changed, she's been pretty well behaved.
Yeah. Or about a month and a half ago, he changed her to Focalin.
Who's her doctor?
Dr. Handel in Dothan.
Okay.
She was on Concerta to begin with, and he maxed that dose out, and he switched her over to the Focalin. And
Is
we
it
were
like
going to
a
try
family
that.
physician, or
He's just her doctor.
just her doctor? Okay.
Do you have what's your work schedule?
I work 11 to 7.
What's your days off?
The weekends that I work, I'm off Monday, and then if I'm off the weekend, Monday and Wednesday is mostly my days off. They alternate between, if I work the weekend, then I'm off Monday. If I'm off the weekend, then I work Wednesday.
So did you work this past Monday night?
Yes.
And you worked last night?
Yeah, I worked last night. Yeah.
What kind of shift did you do last night?
11 to 7.
Where was this at?
Bonifay Nursing Home.
How'd your shift go last night?
Well, it was fine. There was 5 of us there, so we had a real easy shift.
And you said you got home about 8?
Mm-hmm. We had, on our paydays, we have an in-service, and then that's how we get our CEUs to keep our license.
How do you travel back and forth to work?
My car.
Which one is that?
The Red Cavalier.
So you came home alone at around 8?
Mm-hmm.
What did you discover when you went in the house?
Well, they were sitting there watching cartoons. They were I went to a yard sale, and there was one of the little bed things that you can put in a tent to inflate the thing. And last night I had aired it up to make sure it didn't have any holes in it. And AJ wanted to sleep on it, and so it was out. So both of them were sitting on it watching TV.
So AJ slept in the living room?
Mm-hmm.
And where did Adrianna sleep?
On her bed. They've got bunk beds.
So they were both on that when you come in?
Mm-hmm.
Where was Alan Michael?
He was still asleep in his room.
You said you took a nap at around 9:30?
Mm-hmm.
What transpired in that hour and a half there?
Well, nothing really. I changed my clothes, took my uniform off. I cleaned out my bag because I had brought some extra stuff home. I had brought some books. I put them up. Got the book out that I was reading. I sat down and read a little bit of it, and laid it down. And then I went and laid across the bed. I turned the TV on, watched a little bit of TV, and then I went in there and told them I was going to take a nap. And so I turned the TV off and I laid down.
And they were still watching TV?
Mm-hmm. They were watching cartoons.
Were they being haved?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were quiet. Most of the time they're running through the house, and I don't sleep, but they were watching Boomerang. So they were quiet.
None of them got into any neither one of them got into any mischief.
Mm-mm.
Didn't have to get on to them at all.
Because when I got up, I went and looked to see if they had gotten into anything because they were quiet, but nothing had been messed with.
What time did you get up, you think?
It was probably it had to have been between 12:30 and 1 o'clock.
And what did you find them doing again? I know you...
Watching cartoons. They were sitting on the tent bed, and they were watching cartoons.
They weren't eating anything?
AJ did have his Play-Doh, and they had dropped some of it on the floor, but other than that, they weren't doing anything.
You got up, they were still watching cartoons, and then what transpired from there?
Well, they continued to watch cartoons. I got up, I got something to drink. Went in there and I sat down and was watching cartoons with them, and that's when they asked if they could, get in the pool. And then that's when I told them, do you want to go get in the pool or do you want to go get your school stuff? And they wanted to go get their school stuff because they had already picked out book bags and all kind of stuff out of the papers.
Okay, then what happened?
I piddled around a little bit more, and then they wanted to go outside, and they went outside and played. And they were sitting in the dirt playing with his tractors. Right there where that tree's at in the front, in that dirt. That's where they were playing. And me walking back and forth, they stayed there for the longest, just playing with the tractors.
Where was Alan Michael at that time?
Still asleep. He had woken up one time, and he come out, and he had played around with AJ a little bit. It was right after I got up. And then he went on back to his room.
Is there somewhere in here you took a shower?
Yeah, right after I come in from checking on them when they were outside. And I told them that whenever I went and took my shower that I'd come get them and they'd go take theirs and we'd get ready to go.
Okay. So they had been out. They just got started playing outside, or had they been outside a while?
They were probably out there about 30 minutes.
And then you told them you were going to take a shower?
Mm-hmm.
Then what happened?
Well, I took my shower. I come out, got the towels together. I got dressed, then I got the towels, took them to the laundry, switched everything over, and then I went out to get them to bring them in. And AJ was in the trees, and I didn't see her, and that's when I asked him where was she at.
He was in that tree?
Yeah, the ones that were the line at the end of our yard, in between us and that house.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets up in that one, and he'll, get probably this far up, and he'll play in the limbs.
What was he? He was out there playing by himself?
Mm-hmm.
And then you asked him about her?
I asked him where she was at, and he said she was playing at the pool. And I told him, I said, well, go tell her to come in so we can get ready to go. And I just, walked through the house to the sliding glass door to look, and I was going to tell her to come on in. But sometimes when AJ tells her, they'll bicker back and forth, so... And I didn't see her, and about that time he was running to the pool, to see where she was at. And he jumped up on the wagon and looked in. He was trying to, I guess, rake at her.
Did you holler at him to go get her out the front or back door?
The front door. And then when I went to the back door, I was on the phone with Alan because I was going to tell him that we were getting ready to go. And that's when I looked out and asked AJ what was he doing, and he said she was upside down in the pool. And then I run out to the pool, and I still had Alan on the phone. And that's when I told him that Adrianna was in the pool and she was upside down. And he told me to get her out, and I, dropped the phone and pulled her out. And I sent AJ for Alan Michael, and then when he come out there, I told him to get AJ and take him in the house and keep him in there. And then I tried to get her to breathe, and I couldn't get her to breathe. The water just kept coming out of her nose.
Did you take any measures to resuscitate her?
I tried to give her CPR. I'm not that good at it. And then he told me to call 911. And then the dispatcher was, telling me, was she breathing? And I told her no, and I was trying to give her CPR then.
Did you have any trouble getting her out of the pool?
Well, she was kind of in the middle, so I had to lean over the side.
But you didn't have to get in it?
I didn't have to get in it. I could reach her from the outside.
Were you standing in the wagon?
No, I was standing on the ground. And the side that I was on, the pool's not even. So it was kind of leaning that way, and I just leaned over.
Did you pull her out about where the wagon's at, or on that side?
No, on the other side. The wagon was here, and I pulled her out right here.
Kind of where she was laying, that
Mm-hmm.
that area? You didn't have no trouble getting her out?
Mm-mm. I mean, I had to rake at her toes to get her to where I could grab her leg, and then I pulled her to me and then pulled her out of the pool.
What about the bruises?
The one that was on, when I pulled her out of the pool, the one that was right here was a very small purple spot. It wasn't nothing like it is right now. And when they got there, they asked me if she had bumped her head or she had had a mark all day, and I told them no, she's not had a mark on her head.
Had she had any bruises?
Well, I mean, little ones on her legs, and I think she had one on her left arm or her right arm where her and AJ would fight. But other than that, she didn't have any.
You know how she could have got any getting her out of the pool, or?
No, because when I pulled her out, I mean, there's nothing hard the way I got her out for her to hit her
Anything
head.
she could have hit her head on in the pool?
Well, I mean, the container that holds the little tablets, that's the only hard thing that was in there.
That's what she thinks she was using to dip the bugs out?
No, I think she was using the white tub. I mean, that's the only thing that could have scooped bugs
Is that what she's
out.
talking about, had the tablets in it, though? Or
No,
something
there's
else?
the white tub, and then there's the container that comes with the pool to put chlorine tablets
Oh,
in.
okay.
I mean, that's the only thing that was hard that was floating that she could have hit her head on.
Did she ever walk off from the house?
Hmm.
I know you said she had that medical problem. That I was wondering if she ever strayed off. You have to go get her.
No, she's never strayed off from the house. I mean, she's never walked off.
And again, I hate to have to ask these questions, but you said something that struck my attention there in the house. You said you couldn't go through this again. Have you lost a child before? Can you tell me basically what that was about?
He had seizures. It's been now about 10 years ago.
10?
10. I was 17, young, and I made a mistake and got pregnant. And we didn't know that he was sick. We had no clue. And right there, probably the last month or two, he got to where he would play, and then he'd sit down. He was just so tired and exhausted. And my mother and I both took him to the doctor, and they kept telling us that you're worrying too much. There's nothing wrong with him. And we went to Dothan Pediatrics. And the last time that I took him, he seen Dr. Barron, and I'll never forget it. But he told me that there was nothing wrong with him and sent us home. And then I think it was the following week he had his first seizure. And it was in his sleep. He was taking a nap. And when I went to check on him, he wasn't breathing. And I called my mom at work, and if I'm not mistaken, she was the one that called 911. And then they took him to Dale Medical Center, and then they sent him to Flowers, and they run all kind of tests on him there and sent him home. And then 2 weeks later, he had one in his sleep again, and that one took him.
Is that the only 3 children you've had?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get in the pool with the children and play with them?
Mm-hmm. Me and Alan both would get in there and play with them, and we'd swim and play. And I mean, they liked to play turtle, and that was just where they got on my back, and I'd swim around the pool. But as far as Adrianna, unless she had the floaties on or we were with her, she didn't like to get away from the edge of the pool so that she could hold on. Or either she'd stay at the ladder. Before we bought our pool, we would go to Alan's sister's, and she would do that. She'd stay right there at the ladder. Of course, that one they couldn't reach.
But she's never gotten the pool by herself before?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen the wagon up beside the pool like that?
I don't let them put anything up beside it. I mean, you know, one, we didn't want it to get punctured, and two, I didn't want them falling in it, and this happening.
You normally keep the ladder locked up?
Mm-hmm.
And the ladder's locked up now?
Yes. That was the first rule when we got the pool, that the ladder would stay locked up. And it stays right there in the shed.
Who all does Alan Michael ever get in the pool?
He's not got in it, but maybe a handful of times. Most of the time he's at his Aunt Penny's, and that's Alan's sister. And they go, our four-wheelers are over there because they have a big barn. And he's pretty much stayed over there.
Does he live with y'all, or
Mm-hmm.
Does Alan have any other children that live there? Or?
He has a little girl, but she lives with her mom.
How old is she?
I believe she's 11.
What's her name?
Amber.
Okay. She just stays over, or sometimes?
She come down for the summer, and then it's every other weekend.
Where's she live at, or where's her mom live at?
Right there in Hartford on, I think it's 167 that goes from Hartford to Wicksburg.
Mm-hmm.
They live on that road.
Okay.
Did she ever get scared when y'all were playing in the pool?
She never liked for us to throw her up like we do AJ.
Yeah.
So, you know, we really didn't push her to do anything. And then when I started trying to show AJ how to swim, then she wanted to learn how to swim. But I wouldn't try to push it on her because I know she's afraid of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's hardly ever laid down in the tub. I have to take a cup to scoop the water in to rinse her hair.
You're saying Adrianna had some ADHD. Does AJ have anything like that, or
Mm-hmm.
he's pretty well behaved, or?
But I mean, like I said, whenever he put her on this Focalin, you could honestly tell if she skipped a
Has
dose.
she had it today?
No, we didn't do it this morning. I forgot to do it this morning. So most of the time, if I forgot it, we would double it the next day to get her caught back up.
If you missed a day, did she drastically change her behavior?
Not drastically, no.
Could you tell if did she miss getting more mischief and stuff if she'd missed it, or?
If she misses her dose, she's real talkative. She's just antsy. But as far as going out and getting in mischief, I mean, she didn't know more than what she did normally, and she really wasn't that bad. I mean, she just do the normal stuff of getting into stuff, but she wasn't a bad child, even though she did have that problem.
Has she, in the past, got the bugs out of the pool?
No, most of the time me and Alan do that. We'll get over into the pool, you know, while they're in there with us, and we'll get the nets and we'll net it out.
Mm-hmm.
But they know that we get the bugs out before we get in the pool. And they wanted to go swimming, so she took it upon herself to go get the bugs out. But the nets, you know, were locked up in the shed with everything else.
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else. Anything you want to say? You think we forgot to ask you?
No.
That includes a statement. The time is 8:11 p.m.